Hey guys, thanks for checking out Quick Sessions Podcast. My name is Garrett Terrio, coming to you from Timberline Fitness in Houston, Texas. And today we are going to be talking about photobiomodulation. What the hell is that? I hear you. I did not know what this was before today. I was going through and reading some old strength and conditioning journals, because that's the fun thing to do in the middle of the day. And in the October 2018 journal, I saw this word, photobiomodulation. What is that? So I checked it out, and while this isn't brand new, it is kind of new as far as fitness is concerned. Now, doctors, scientists, they've known about this forever. It's a fancy way of saying a low-level laser therapy. Well, I shouldn't say it's another way of saying it. It's based on lower-level laser therapy. Here's what photobiomodulation therapy does. So basically, there's these little machines. They kind of look like stim machines, but with a little wand instead of the pads that they stick on you. The stim machines are what they put on your muscles. Chiropractors use them all the time, physical therapists, and they activate muscle. This looks like one. That's the only similarity, except it has a little wand on it. Not quite like an ultrasound, but envision that connected to a little box, and that's it. And there's other types, but from what I was looking at, that a regular person like you or I could get our hands on, that's what it looks like. And what these things do, this light therapy, this photobiomodulation therapy, is they use these lasers that they put on your body, they put the wand to your body, and shoot this laser into you through your skin, and your body absorbs it. When your body absorbs it, it turns it into chemical energy inside the cell membrane. Be more specific, it targets what's called the cytochrome C complex, and it's found in the inner membrane of your cell's mitochondria. And that is about as sciencey as I'll get it. So just remember that, and you'll be fine. But what happens is once it gets in there, the membrane essentially increases in size in what it can hold. And when it can increase in what it can hold and the potential that it can do, the enzyme activity is increased. Now, what does that mean as related to you or I? It increases your production of something called adenosine triphosphate, which is your powerhouse for muscle contractions. That's what explodes in order for you to be able to contract muscles. Now, along with increasing the production of ATP, it also increases your free nitric oxide levels. Now, that word you've heard in a lot of pre-workout supplements, drinks, and just something in general that's in your body if you've studied the body enough. But when that increases, what that does is it acts as a vasodilator. And that's maybe even a bigger benefit than the increased production of ATP. Because what that does is when you have a higher level of nitrous oxide in your body, you can transport oxygen much more efficiently. And that leads to things like recovery much better. Inflammation reduction helps repair the muscles quicker. It can reduce joint pain. Most of all, it can resynthesize the ATP. It'll help with endurance, with muscular endurance, whether you're doing something aerobic or anaerobic. So that's kind of what photobiomodulation therapy is. And it's used all over. It's used with the military. Soccer leagues in Europe use it, Olympic teams, rugby teams, stuff like that. It's still very new, but it's something people are starting to really get into. It kind of reminds me of when vibration therapy became a key with the power plates and all that, and that took off. And this sounds like it could be the next thing. The holdup on it, I should say, is because it is expensive, but how much it helps is still under investigation, so to say. There's not a ton of studies so far on humans. That being said, reading the National Strength and Conditioning Journal, they were doing an experiment with not professional runners, with just avid runners, recreational runners we'll call them. And what they did is they took 15 guys, all male, and made them run 2 or 3 times a week for 4 months before they could even participate. After that, they did a 5-week study, and they had the guys do a control run. I can't remember exactly how far it was. And then there were 4 categories. There was the placebo, the 15 joule, the 30 joule, and the 60 joule. Joule is the energy these lasers put in. Like you dial it up to 60 joules and put it in. And a joule is how much, how do I explain this? Sorry, I got science again. It's how much work can generate 1 watt for 1 second, right? So 15 joules, obviously the lowest, 30 joules, middle, 60 the most. And placebo is none at all, but they still made people think they were getting the treatment. the way they do it is you apply it directly to the muscles you're looking to activate and try to get that uptick in ATP and nitrous oxide and all that. They did 14 treatments on each of their legs. So 8 in their quads, 4 in their hamstrings, 2 in the gastrocnemius, and had them run whatever it was. I'm forgetting exactly how long it was, but had them all run. They had all the VO2 max and all that already figured out for them. And what it showed, with 30 joules being the most, but they were all pretty close, within 0.5% of each other, is that with this extra therapy, all the runners were about 3.5%, 4% better as far as effort put out, speed, VO2 max, and another interesting part was their mental feedback. Not sure exactly how they measured that. It didn't go into the exact instruments used for that, but their perception, I guess, of the difficulty was also shown to be better. Like maybe they were less anxious. That's something for another article, I guess. But anyway, it just helped across the board. And compared to the placebo group, it was even more than that. So not only did they improve normal, they made even bigger strides compared to the people that didn't do anything. Because 4 months of running and then another 5 weeks, and you know you're part of an experiment, you're going to get better at running anyway. So to show that not only did those individual runners improve, they improved against the placebo also to a greater extent. It gives a little more credibility to this laser therapy, this photobiomodulation therapy. So I thought that was pretty cool. I just thought I would share it with you guys. There's plenty of experts I want to talk about this with who can get more into the intricacies of what this laser therapy can do for your muscles. Now, I know there's not a ton of human experiments done already, but you know me and I love my rat experiments. The whole question leading me to this rat experiment that I read up on was how early do you apply this laser treatment? And it's kind of thought to do it as close as possible to when you actually work out. That being said, with the rats, because it's just easier and you can do more trials and you can try more things, they used the therapy in the rats 6 hours before they did their fatigue test. And at the time of the test, all the rats showed a much bigger uptick in stored ATP, which is the point, right? If you have more ATP, that's why we take things like pre-workout and all that, not just for a caffeine rush or beta-alanine rush, but to generally to increase the amount of blood flow we can get to our muscles through vasodilation. So this increased nitrous oxide is such a useful tool for anti-fatigue, anti-soreness, that if this laser therapy can really take off and it's something that you can just do by yourself before you work out, I mean, that's something that can really change the game for working out. That's something you'll see in every gym potentially. Now, it takes a while. For instance, if you wanted to do 14 points like this experiment did, it's going to take you 14 minutes, about a minute in each spot. But it's definitely something places like Timberline could use as like a session just to go in a booth, for instance. Let's say you don't need a wand and there's like a tanning bed situation where you can just go in, throw goggles, and get this light therapy all over your body for 2 minutes or 3 minutes. It's something that any studio would be able to monetize, but also it kind of eliminate the need for as much pre-workout, I'm guessing, because if you have an uptake in ATP without putting anything into your body, I would call that a win. I take pre-workout before just about every workout, weight workout that is, and it's kind of just become a habit, and I can definitely feel the effects all the time. But something where you can get a full body effect, where your body your cells transform, do this light, they expand, and they'll go back to normal right after. The time frame that this actually works for is still not known, but it's long enough for when these guys are working out. I'm assuming whenever you calm down, your heart rate lowers again, and you come off your exercise high, your body just goes right back to normal. So reading about something like this, and like I said, this is October of 2018, this is less than a year ago, this is something I'm extremely interested in, not only for the technology itself as it relates to the fitness industry, but also as a service that gyms can offer to members and clients and all that. Now, there's still a long way to go, a lot of experiments to do, a lot of studies. But I tell you what, I'm going to have my eye on it. I'm pumped up for it. Next Ursa we go to. I definitely want to check it out. Anyway, guys, that was something new I was excited about, so I just kind of hopped on and talked about it. I'll check it out more, and I'm going to try to find an expert to come on. I have someone in mind who may be pretty familiar with it. There's your future in fitness, potentially. All right, guys, hope you learned something new. I know I did. I'm willing to bet everybody listening did, too. Photobiomodulation Therapy. Check out a YouTube video, read an article. It's good stuff. Like I said, it was in the National Strength and Conditioning Journal, the October issue of 2018. If you can get your hands on that, that's a good study to read about. Thanks for checking it out, guys. See you later.